Something is blocking the screen. Good evening, all of you. In today's, we have selected the stock analysis of HDFC Life. The company is in news as it will replace Vedanta Limited in the Nifty index starting from 31st July. First, we have the company highlights. HDFC Life was established in 2000. It is a joint venture between HDFC Life, Standard Life, Aberdeen PLC, a global investment company. As on March 31st, 2020, the promoters HDFC Limited and Standard Life hold 51.4% and 12.3% respectively in HDFC Life. HDFC Life's products include protection, pension, savings, investment, health, etc. The company has 37 individual and 11 group products in its portfolio. In the industry sector, the insurance industry in India consists of 57 insurance companies, of which 24 are in life insurance and 33 are of non-life insurance. India's life insurance companies witnessed 11.36% growth in the collective premium income at rupees 48.27 lakh crore during fiscal ended March 2020. The insurance industry in India is expected to reach US $280 billion by 2020. The life insurance industry in the country is expected to grow at 12 to 15% annual over the next 3 to 5 years. In the next section, we have the QGLP analysis. The first, we have quality of business and management. This company has a strong promoter interest in business, that is 63.69%, and has a zero promoter pledge. HDFC Life's AUM rising at a CAGR of 14%, which shows that the company is growing and has new firm fee income. In financial year 2020, the company continues to consolidate its leadership position in the new business margin and in individual segment. The company was reorganized as one of the India's top 25 best workplaces in BFSI 2020. The growth in the company PAT is growing at a CAGR of 12% over 5 years. Number of life insurance has also increased to 6.1 crore, witnessing a growth of 19% over last year. The company is expanding its business in digital sections. The 76% contribution of online channels from non-metros and increasing the geographical presence. Due to the COVID-19 situation, the company has taken new initiatives to launch InstaServe, which is an OTP-based policy serve, InstaPRL to reduce turnaround time, and artificial intelligence to platform for employees. The company has also launched the Wise platform, which is the industry first video-based sales embedment tool. For the longevity of the quality and growth, in financial year 2020, 99.9% of new business was initiated through digital platform. Around 85% of the renewal payment came through online mode. HDFC Life's operating model has evolved from a traditional distribution play model to a matrix of platforms, digital channels, ecosystem, and traditional avenues led by technology and analytics. Cloud migration to ensure high availability and scalability of architecture. In the price to earning of the company is 90.55x, and the industry average is 70.4x. The PE of the company can be defended by rising growth in sales, and the book value per share is improving for the last 2 years. The company is paying its healthy dividend payout of 25.08% with the year. As for the current year, there will be no dividend payout as prescribed by the RDI. So in the next page, presentation is followed by Anya.
Yeah, hi, good evening, guys. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Ananya, you can continue.
Okay. So talking about the financial aspects of the company, as we can clearly see that the revenue is constantly increasing. Primarily, the total premium that was collected by the company during the year witnessed a growth of about 12% from the last year. Also, the growth was the major reason for the growth was about 19% growth in the regular premium from the individual APE. Talking about the PAT, the company increased. The company, as we can see, the PAT is also increasing, but the company only witnessed about 1% PAT from the last year, and this was due to a growth of about 17% in the backbook surplus, and also about 16% increase in the new business stream. Now let's talk about the asset under management and new business margin. So when we talk about an insurance company, the main factors that we consider are first is asset under management. As we can see that the AUM is also increasing, but the increase is only about of 1%. Because as we know, due to COVID-19, the profits and the assets were majorly disturbed. Secondly, let's talk about the new business margin. The new business margin is an important metric that a shareholder must track. It includes the profit margin of a life insurance company. As we can clearly see, the NBM of a company stands of about 25.92%. So it is clearly seeing that it is offering good profit, it is having a good profitability. As now, let's talk about the financial aspects. As we can see, the revenue is also increasing and the PAT is also increasing. And the company is offering a good ROE of about 19.7%. Talking about the EPS, as it is clearly seen, it is about 6.42%. Now, Ritik, can you please? Yeah. So, the major other factors why when we consider an insurance company is the value of new business. The value of new business is a very good profitability measure to understand what are the new businesses written in a period. The company's value of new business is also increasing, and it stands for 1919 crores for the year 2020, financial year 2020. Also, the operating expense ratio is constant from the last year. It stands for 13.1%. So the company has maintained its operating expense. Let's talk about the solvency ratio. Solvency ratio is a very important aspect that a company has to ensure. The AIDA has maintained the lower, I would say, threshold is 150% for a company to have the solvency ratio. So uh, HDFC gives a gives a like fine good solvency ratio of about 184%. So let's talk about the peer comparison. HDFC Life, talking about the market cap, HDFC Life has the highest market cap among all its peers, and the return on embedded value. It is one of the most important aspects when we consider any insurance company. The return, the embedded value is actually the value of a life insurance company. This is important because it reflects the expected profitability that you can expect from the company from the current underwritten policies plus the current net worth. So the return on embedded value is actually calculated by the operating return on EOV divided by the initial embedded value, and it is calculated while excluding the external factors. Only it is calculated only by keeping in mind the internal factors of the company. So as we can clearly see that the company has a good ROEV. The value actually decreased from the last year primarily due to COVID-19 effects, because the company has to maintain a COVID-19 reserve. So talking about the ROCE, as we can see, the question was also rose that why the company has a lower, all the years, even its peers has low ROCE as compared to the ROE. The reason is that when we calculate the return on capital employed, the insurance companies are keeping in mind the shareholders' equity as well as the policyholders' funds too. This is because the companies have to return the profit to the shareholders as well as to the policyholders' funds too. Now let's talk about the risk and concerns that are affiliated with the company. Since due to COVID-19, the ULIP plans, that is the unit-linked insurance plans, were heavily affected. Also, because obviously they were heavily affected, so we can expect that the low ULIP plans will be there in 2021, and it will obviously pose a higher risk at annualized premium equivalent. Following the national lockdown, the premium that was contributed only from the traditional channels such as agents was only 55%, and that has also been affected. The company managed to actually manage its operations through online. So, talking about the higher surrender rates and policy claims in the upcoming quarters. So, the Life Insurance Council has also announced the force majeure clause that will not apply in the case of COVID-19 death claims. So, the companies have to give the death claims, right? Talking about the conclusions and investment point of view, as we can clearly see, the prospects of industry coming back totally depends upon the COVID-19. But we are expecting that the company will gain its momentum back after the from quarter 3. So we are expecting that the company will rise its profit. So talking about the Indian insurance sector, it is highly untapped, both in terms of penetration as well as terms of density. The talking about the penetration, there's only 2.7% of GDP as per of 2018. So there's a huge opportunity for the insurance companies to capture this untapped market. So despite all these challenges, we can see even though the COVID-19, the company has managed to keep continue with its operation, and the company was able to generate revenue. So the HDFC Life is a good investment point of view due to its strong return ratios in the past. It has the ROEV is constantly rising, and also the diversification into the new businesses. The company is continuously expanding its business, high margin profit business. Also, it is one of the industry leading in new business premium and high new business margins. So that's all from our side. If you have any questions.